Hey, happy to see you all in the chat. So let me know in the chat that you can hear and see me well. Can you hear and see? Okay. Plus, minus, if there's any issues, let me know that. And we will start by examining the homeworks first, and then jump in the day's task. So I see 1+, that's great. We'll try to measure who has the best homework for today, and also how it looks like. So I received only 3 homeworks, but happy for those that actually did this, because otherwise, like, if you don't do the homeworks, then most likely you don't learn as much, because, you know, like, if you do the homework, then you need to struggle a little bit and understand how the things work. So okay, let's see. I also shared the template, by the way. So please make sure that you have the template ready while we are looking at the homeworks as well. Okay, so this is the Jamboard, right? So I think we'll start by Zaf's work. So let me see. Okay, I think you see the screen. So the requirements were to add some styles. So let me check. So I add some CSS styles, especially Flexbox, and also the requirements was to implement the template system for the base template. So this base template must be added to all of the pages. And what else? So the base template, header view. So there's the header for each page, and the flexbox, right? So 3 tasks. Anyway, so let's see what you're having here. So this one is the template, right? So then let's look at the homepage. So the homepage is built using spans and the main container. Inside here, do we find Flexbox? Okay, we find actually something regarding Flexbox. Okay, that's interesting. So the main controller display as flex direction. But it seems like you're not using that many flex type of functionality, even though this one is good one. So justify contents space evenly. That's really interesting. Let me see how it looks like. I will also share the code if it actually produces something interesting. Let me see. So, okay, localhost somewhere. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Interesting styling, right? Oh, you see, this is great. The Chrome actually shows that this was done using the Flexbox, and see these are the colored parts, which says that these are spaced evenly. You know that, of course, this is not perfect, because sometimes you have larger, shorter titles, right? And then it's not like a grid view right now. But otherwise, it seems nice option. So see, it's also saying that this div is using Flex. And probably we can try out something else. So flex, end, for example, everything is on this side, or flex start, right? Or what else? There was the space around, also, or space between, or space evenly. So let's try space between, right? So I will make a screenshot of this part and specifically show that what you can do with these flex options. So that is good job regarding this part. Let me add this in here so you can try out as well if you did not do this yourself. Then from the template view, so there is the template view, title, edit, new, if else, something else. Seems good. Good job. Here as well, and here as well. link missing. Oh, that's interesting. So that's a good job. So you went even extra step, and for my crappy database where I have missing parts, you added to that, you know, like if something is missing, then you don't include it. That's nice touch here. That is a nice touch. So okay, so it seems to be a very good job. Let's look at the next one. So the next one, Christiana Everts. So the Everts job. So base template again, then edit view. So in edit view, first of all, we see first mistake, but it's good that you submitted. So even you have a mistake, it's much better that you submit and you have a mistake, or you don't submit and we don't know what you know. So here, basically, still good job, you know, like to construct the length of string. So this is nice touch, so this is good job, but this part is not as good. So h1, even though browser will render this, but you are using it in very wrong manner. So instead of having this h1 stuff, if you wanted to have the title as h1, so then you should move it down here in the content, but instead here it should be just string. So should be just string, because header cannot contain HTML. HTML goes only in body. HTML goes only in body tags, and not bags but tags, right? So let's move this one here. And if you look where was the mistake, here there is the title block, right? Zap used title block correctly, and then the head block. So the head block is used only for, oh, there is also something strange here. There is a head written. I hope that was not in my template, because it doesn't make sense. So here we have a text, right, as a string, which is placed in between these two parts, right? And then here, this should not be like that. Instead, there should be all sorts of scripts and other all sorts of other things to import the header. You know, like if one specific page uses some specific style, or some specific page needs some specific JavaScript, then you include that in that head block, but nothing else, right? So let me know in the chat if this part is clear. Is head block clear? Plus, minus. If not something clear, let me know in the chat. So I'm trying to drop this in the Jamboard. So I have a question in the YouTube live chat, right? Hopefully it's not blocked. You can answer on that. Okay, so again, the title is something as a string in between here. Head is anything else that is tag-like, you know, like link, script, and so on. Not like HTML-like, not like these other things. Okay, so I see that not sure. Okay, so this should not be here. Normally there should be nothing there, and anything else that is like div tag, right, or h tag, or anything that is visible, right? So this is visible, visible, all of that should be in the body tag. Everything that is not visible, that is just a script, goes into head tag. The title is also not rendered. The title is only displayed in the top part of your browser window, right? So this is not actually rendered. Maybe if I can show you what I mean by that. So let's go in some post in here. Okay, so this was not already running. There was the ZAF code, right? Let's start it again. thank you for response in the chat. I see that you wrote that it's not totally clear, so I'm trying to explain now. So here, you see up here in the top part there is this this title. So this title is not part of HTML. This is browser rendered head title. Head title. Everything else that you see here below, everything else is body. So we can use different color. So everything else is in the body tags. Everything else in body tag. And you cannot put any HTML tags inside the head tags. Head tags are just used for headers, like the information which is like scripts and things like that, not the actual visual content. Okay, so is this clear so far? Is this clear? Plus, minus. If something is still not clear, would be better if you can try to ask me a specific question. So while you are typing questions, otherwise, I think also if you look here at the way however it's implemented, the Flexbox, so it seems very nice. So in terms of implementation, it looks really nice. You know, the CSS. Just a second, I need to put it on not disturb. So CSS classes, right? The flex container, flex header, flex content, flex. I would say this is row and these are columns, even though I know that the style is written another way around. So if I go here, you see that there should be a flex content is flex direction row, flex container is flex direction column. So you could play around with these as well. So this is good job so far, even though there was one mistake forever. So seems to be good. I don't see any other questions in the chat. So let's keep going. So then the Christiana. Okay, so we'll start with the views. So the base template. So there's some kind of home template. Content. So this is good. It's just that it's missing title, right? So here, okay, so this is not good. So edit page also needs to have the same template used as other pages. So, but view template is good again. So view template is good. Okay, so that part is good. What about the flex boxes? Okay, you try to do that, so that's also nice. Flex start, so you use the justify. Hopefully it works, we'll check. Okay, the address is used. Need to stop something that's running. Okay, let's start using, let's see if it works. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can already see that if I'm scrolling, that it's using some kind of flex functions. It's a little bit chaotic, right? So it'd be nice to have that these guys are flex columns and inside there is a flex rows, like it was for Everts, for example. Then in that case it would look much better. So here, let's see, flex direction column. See, now it goes down. So the flex direction is also important, and of course like some spacing and other things, right? Okay, so thank you really much for the homeworks. Now I understand a little bit better. Where we're able to explain few small issues, right, that you had. And now let's use the new template. So I will need to stop some stuff. Let me see. So the new template, session 7, which I shared you, it's basically very similar to what you already have. like very few changes. I've reverted back to the table just because like it's a little bit easier to manage with the column sizes, but I wanted to show you definitely other ways, because for the modern styling the flexbox are very common. Okay, so that's what we have, and now I want to talk about the page hierarchy, right? So what we want to do is we first want to modify our model. So we have model post, and you often see that you have blogs, right, where you write the, I don't know, like you have different types of products that you do, right, or different types of art. So the music, the I don't know, like the paintings, what else kind of art you can do, I don't know. So yeah, so and you create this out of the tree, and you go to the portfolio, your pictures and other things, and so to create this structure of menu, right, where you can go to different parts of the pages, like the sitemap of actual page. If you look at any page, right, you have like different pages under each other, right, like the sitemap. So to do that, there is also common ways how to do that, and one way is to using this kind of page-based hierarchy. Also the WordPress and other platforms use that. So here will be the let's write down at the end, so partner, parent parent post ID, and this will be integer and none, so by default, so that it's not used, it will be null by default. And then we also can actually have parent post, which is from the model post, and also by default none, except I guess it doesn't like this. Why it doesn't like? Unresolved reference. Sorry. Okay, it seems like that it don't want to be able to use the same declaration within the same class. Okay, let's just leave it as that, model post none, like that. Okay, we'll be fine. Okay, so add those two, and I will add also that to the Jamboard. Maybe I should add this to slide number 5, so it's a different slide, right? So we add those two things. Now we also need to modify the database. So in the database we will add a new column. The new column will, and there will be make actually really interesting stuff here. So first of all, we will make the parent. Again, it's better to have parent post or post parent ID. What was it? Yeah, parent post ID. Because instead of just post ID, it's always better to use not to use ID or post or parent ID or anything generic, right? It's always better to have more meaning to your variable names, and otherwise they will just repeat or even worse, overlap with reserved keywords. Like in Python, a variable name ID, very bad idea. So basically that is that. Integer. By default null, and then we will add something really interesting. So the foreign key, right? So the foreign key means that it will test if I add some row with this new parent post ID, and that kind of post actually does not exist, then in that case we will not allow to add these kinds of things. Okay, I see again some chat distractions. Okay, so hopefully we can get them off the screen. Oh, you don't see what I'm doing. Okay, that's great. You said me. Okay, if somebody can like report the stuff in the chat, that would be also good. Yeah, now you see. So I added only the column post parent ID using integer. Maybe I can even share that now, otherwise somebody will miss it. Right, so that's first part. by the way, everything that I do manually here, it generates SQL script below. So you see there is a SQL script with the changes. And it actually should generate the alter, so the alter script for the changes. Anyway, so and then we go to the keys, for the foreign keys. We choose the target table, the same table, so that posts. We could also use different table, and this is the relational database. We are linking together, so we are linking together the parent post ID with the post ID. So let me see. Okay, it's added the constraint, I think, hopefully in the right order. Let me see. Reference post constraint on that one. Primary key, yeah, it seems to be right order. So something like this. I will also add this part to the Jamboard. By the way, it will work also without foreign key, but the foreign key is important in order to ensure that we don't link together two pages which does not exist at all, right? So Ctrl Shift. Okay, let's add this one. Plus, let's look another thing here. What we have status there. Yeah, so the status, it could be probably published, right, draft, and maybe we will also introduce deleted. Because now, if I have parent post ID, it will be very hard to delete pages. Like if my page have a lot of children, then maybe I need to first delete those children and then I can delete my page, or I can just mark all of them as a status deleted, and then in that case I don't need actually to delete them, because it will not allow me to delete with the foreign key. So now I added this, and you see that after I added this, I have a blue key here. So this means that this field is now linked together with this field. So I cannot enter in this field any post ID which is not existing at all. So it always, and you can imagine you can do the same thing with other tables. So if you later will create the users table, so that only authenticated users can create posts, we can link together users with the posts, for example. And this is there are a lot of structures there. Right now, this structure is the kind of recursive structure that you try to, like link one to another. And by the way, it's not really one to one, but it's one to n, because each parent node can have a lot of child nodes which all point to the same parent node. Okay, I think maybe it's not, hopefully it's clear, but if something is not clear when we start doing the next thing, maybe it will become clearer. So we can go now to the database. Controller database, right? So this is the insert post. Okay, it would be nice also to insert the actual parent ID as well. So post parent ID, also here. So we are inserting that as well. By default it will be none, and none values will be inserted as null, and this means that this is a top hierarchy, right? So that is that. Sorry. Then also, of course, here with the editing part, so this is the update part. Then get post, so we're getting everything there, and now we're having a new column here. This will fail, it will be error here, so we need to change this. So we'll write here the comma post parent post ID. Now it will work. And then this is not it, because we also want to actually load the parent post itself. So you write post parent post and call recursion here, controller database get post, and the post ID will be the same as parent post ID. So now if the parent post ID will have another parent, it will again call the same function here. So I'm not sure like if everybody is familiar with basic programming algorithms. Hopefully you are. So this is a recursion. So this will be calling the function itself many times until we get to the topmost parent, right? So this is really nice way to show you recursion. It's called recursion, right? Hopefully I wrote it correctly. Okay, so that is that. Then delete post. Again, as I said, we cannot just really delete posts now if we have parents. If we have parents, then we maybe need to delete all of the childs, and it might not be good idea, or maybe it is good idea, I don't know. So let me think. So if I have parent and I try to delete it, I guess the best way would be not to allow to delete it. So it will not actually allow to delete it. So what we can do is following. So we can add here boolean, bool is success, true, and this will be true here. Oh, sorry, not true, but here will be false. And then if by any chance this is not possible, it will return is success false, because there will be an exception here. It will say I cannot delete that post ID. And also there is some remnants from our previous work. So you see that this time I passed the post ID not using this syntax. Remember I showed you that there is this syntax post ID, and then I use something like this, right? But instead I'm using the sequential syntax with the question marks. So this is acceptable if you have only one variable. If you have many variables, then this is not acceptable way to do this. So okay, I will drop this also to the Jamboard. So then get all posts. Okay, so now we have the whole stuff here. Need to think how it would be better. I think we could change it a little bit. Okay, this will not be optimal, but at least we can start making something useful. So we can write here up here. So there will be the parent post ID. By default it will be none. So we will select the top nodes, right? So the top nodes of our posts. And then we need to have effect on this. So my idea is that we could use just post ID here to get back the post ID. I also don't like that these are small letters. Select big letters from here, and then where parent post ID equals parent post ID, like that, comma. Again, okay, we could use also the question mark syntax, because there's just only one parameter here, so we could use that one. Now this will not be row anymore, so these will be just post IDs here. So post IDs. Do I have the slug as well here? Sorry, I need to check. Okay, hopefully it will be fine. So the post IDs here, and then I'm appending the posts, so I need the actual post. So I'll call the controller database get post by post ID equals post ID. Or I could just leave the first parameter, it should work like that as well. So yeah, so now we're selecting the posts based on the partner or on the parent ID, right? So now this will mean that I will select only topmost posts with this function, and then if I want to select some child posts, then I would use the actual post ID as my root, right? We could do that actually another way as well, not defining the parents but the child's. Yeah, we could do that as well. Maybe that's not a bad idea. So okay, let's copy this one. Just thinking from the perspective of usage, it would be probably smarter to do this another way around, but okay, let's see. So if I run it, let's see that there's no bugs here. Okay, let me use the Chrome. Yeah, so it's here. At the same time, now it's not returning any posts. Why it's not returning any posts? We need to check that. So if I add a breakpoint here, trying to refresh. Now let's see. What do I have it here? Okay, nothing gets returned from this one. Parent post ID should be none. This is interesting. Well, let's open the posts. Parent post ID is null, right? So that's the same as none. Parent post ID. This is interesting. Maybe somebody knows where the problem is. So this is none. I could show you how to debug this. So I open the query console, and now if I try to select posts where parent post ID equals null. Okay, this did not return anything. Is null. Okay, is null works. Okay. So this is not. This is again specific the light SQL syntax. So it doesn't like to have equals null. It likes to have is null. Okay, so we can manage that hopefully. Maybe it could work something like, let me see. So if I write anything, no, it will not help me. So okay, we could define it probably something like this. So I would write f string here, and then these brackets, and then I say so equals if this one is not null, and else is, like that. Or maybe this is a little bit of overkill probably, so maybe I can just use it like that, and here just write it as null is null. Okay, so now it should work. Let me see, try again, refresh. Oh no, incorrect bindings, oh no. Okay, let's leave it as it was. Is this one, that one. Refresh. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, well, except it doesn't. Okay, almost working, no problem, we will fix it. So far so good. So my fixes is here that maybe somebody knows the better way. If you know better way, definitely share. Is that like if this is a null, then I want to write this is, and if this is not a null, then I want to write the equal sign. So this is if none. This is the topmost parent, right? So now this is on the slide number 8. I realize that you might not be able to write all of the code down, right? So just maybe then if you get lost, then follow my code and then later catch up and write just questions, which is not something is not clear. So this is this. Then the get post. What is up with this one? Why that is not working? So I'm checking the post ID here. You already saw that with the f string I could write this shorter. So the row count. Maybe I should add the breakpoint. Let me see if I had some errors. Didn't see any errors. Post. Need to check what's happening here. Refresh. Post, post, post. Okay, there is an error. Unsupported type. What is that? Post ID 14 seems to be good. Parameter post ID unsupported type. Post ID, it looks really good. Okay, if I add here a breakpoint, need to check what's up there. Where actually it breaks. Post ID. Ah, it's a tuple, right, got it. Got it. There is a small bug here, I will not notice that. So there should be a comma sign here. This is super important. So here must be a comma. So this means basically this is a tuple variable 1, right? Tuple variable 2, and so on. So basically, you could write it either as that way, and if you have just one tuple variable, right, remember we have to write it like that, and you can also write it without the actual brackets. So that is what's happening here. It needs to be added there. If something is not clear regarding this part as well, let me ask in the chat, but this is a common practice in Python to write tuples like this. And again, very important, if you have like scalar values, then you would not write it like that, because like if I have scalar, let's say something like that is very, very different to something like that. So this is not scalar, this is tuple then. So see the brackets around is not enough. You need to have also this comma sign, which marks this is a tuple, and this is not a tuple. This is just a mathematical brackets around 0. Very different approach. Okay, so this is this. Let me see if it works now. Oh no, still something super strange happening. Cannot unpack some kind of variable. We'll need to check what's up with that. Column name call none, which is strange as well. Post ID, okay, post ID none. Oh, something did not work as expected, unfortunately. We'll need to check what's happening here. Post ID 14 seems to be good. Yeah, I got the post and then I got the none, which is strange. Ah, got it. I know why they got none. There's another bug which nobody noticed, is that I cannot just get the post if the parent is none, right? So what we should do here is then to check if this is none, if post ID basically is not none, then I can get parent, right? So that is that. Okay, so that would work in that way, but instead, let me see. Because we have this function for getting the all posts for regard based on parent, it would be smarter to change the code instead of using parent post to having the children posts. So let's go back here and let's think. So we have parent post. So just need to avoid some kind of infinitive loop, so we will need to check that one as well. So here will be then the children posts, and this will be a list, or maybe just let's write it like that, children posts. Do I have a mistake in this one? Yeah, okay, children, okay, fine. So add another field here. So these will be all of the sub posts. These will be the sub posts. I will double check it. Did I share all of the code necessary? Yeah, so here there is the changes of this guy. I cannot get posts that are that don't have any parents, right? So I mean, get from null any other posts. Okay, so that is that. Now if I run it, let's see what happens. Okay, it seems to be working so far. Yes, works. So this is a top posts, top hierarchy posts. But now I'm interested also for the children's, right? Because later what we want to do is to create the hierarchy. So here where we have this part, so let's see. So I start by requesting the top nodes. Then I could ask the children nodes. So let's see. So post children posts will be controller database get all posts by the post ID, which is the current post ID. So post ID. So these will be the children's. Then in that part, now I just need to avoid to having the call for the parents. Oh, so this is a post ID. Parent post ID, sorry. Yeah, like that. So now I will ask to get the children posts. Then in each of the children posts, I don't want to get the parent post there. So what would be the easiest way here? So we might maybe have just depth of 1 maybe. So for the children, I want to get iteratively all of the children. Or maybe we could just leave out the parent for now. So just to not create the infinitive loop, I will comment out these. Maybe if we need them, we can come back to that later. At least you know how to do that. So now if I run it again, hopefully it will not break anything. So let me see. Yeah, it works. Okay, so the last change is here that for now, we don't use the parent post. So if we will need it, then we will enable it again. But what I have in mind, I don't think that will be much helpful. So again, there is some assumptions. So one of the assumptions is that each page can have only one parent. If it can have more, then the structure would not work what we have now. But this will work. So okay, so this is this, and then let's go to the edit page. So we'll see. So the edit posts edit. Where is the controller posts edit? Here. So we can write. So this is the post ID, and then we can get all of our candidates for the parent, right? So depending on the location of the page, or maybe we can just allow to add it anywhere or move it to any position, right? So let's add it here. So there will be the hierarchy page hierarchy, post hierarchy, let's call it post hierarchy, and this will be then the controller database get all posts, parent post will be none, and here we also definitely need to, okay, not definitely, but later we will need to store also the new parent position, right? So this will be post hierarchy. Then also so we would like to display some kind of nice structure for choosing the which one will be our post parent, right? So I think we need a key value structure. So there will be the post parent title, title or parent ID by title, and this could be either a dictionary or a list. So I think we could add it as dictionary probably, or maybe as list, because list is something that is ordered by default. So dictionaries are also ordered in most cases in Python, but not always. Dictionaries can also be in random order. So post parent ID by title. Now we can loop over the post hierarchy. Let's think how we can do that. Be easy to do that with recursion. We could do that with some kind of while loop probably. Okay, let's do that with some while loop. So while while len post hierarchy equals something larger than 0, we will continue, and then here current post will be something from the post hierarchy 0. So there's again assumption that there is any posts here, so maybe we should check that. So if len post hierarchy, if there is any posts at all here, so we use the first one. So the first one is used, then we add the first and post parent hierarchy by title. So we will append the tuples, maybe, or the arrays. It doesn't matter that much, but let's use tuples. So current post ID, comma, current post title. And I want to create a drop down where I can check these. Okay, okay, I have ID. Sorry, yeah. Thanks for the comment. So there is a bug with the naming ID. Thank you for that. Okay, so we are adding that, and also I need to remove actually that item from the hierarchy. So one option is, I guess here I can just use that. This is again Pythonic syntax for doing things like that. So now I go over that hierarchy. And then I have the children's here as well. Okay, so before doing that, let's fix the next step. It will be here, and then we need to go over the children as well. So the current post will be the okay, this is very nasty. Anyways, I shouldn't. Okay, let's. Sorry for messing up this. We'll make it much simpler. We'll just force it to be in one level. Okay, so yeah, so we need to have some kind of function to reduce it to one level. Maybe even I can use reduce function. Just a second. I hope that I can do that with the iter tools. We'll see. Okay, so I will need this part, but I don't like this part at all. So, okay, so let's call it then the post hierarchy reduced, and this will be func tools reduce, and with this function I should be able to reduce the children's as well. So first of all I will use the post hierarchy itself. So post hierarchy, and here the plus sign, by the way, means the plus sign means the concatenation of the list. So there's a list of that. So the reduce function, will take lambda A and B, and I really hope that it is smart enough to do this for all the children. So then the children plus B, children, comma, post hierarchy. So now it should be just in one level, and then if it's everything is in one level, then I can go over here for current post in like that, and this should work without any recursion. Basically it uses probably recursion, but inside the func tools reduce function. So now I have all of these parent IDs by titles. So these I want to pass here. I will copy this as for the Jamboard as well. I know we're a little bit over the time. We just want to make sure that we get this to the template, so I'll prepare some homework as well. So okay, model post has no attribute children, right? So what is that? Oh, sorry, yeah, it's not children, it's wrong, because children post something. What was the name of that? Children posts, right? Like that. Like that. So now it should work. Refresh. List has no attribute children posts. List has no attribute children post hierarchy here. Interesting. Why would that happen? Okay, let me add the breakpoint. So just a second, I just want to debug this last thing. So my idea is to get this combination of parent IDs, all of the possible parent IDs and the titles to the template, so you can have the select box to choose them. I think the worst case scenario, if I not manage to do this very quickly, I will just make a template and send it a little bit later for the homework. So let me see. So the children posts, but so far the code should be done anyways. So the post hierarchy, what we have here in the console. Okay, so these are the posts, right? And then if I try to look at a children post, so this is a list, so this seems to be right. Now if I write it here like that, list has no attributes. Okay, that's interesting. The reduce function should be smarter. It should understand that I'm talking about each element, not the list itself. Very strange. Why it's not understanding that? Oh, okay. No, but still, reduce. This is the function, lambda. So I have the lambda and then the sequence. This should be the sequence. Maybe it's not understanding something. Let me see, trying again. Okay, reduce takes no keyword arguments. That's great. Okay, lambda. This should be a stuff that I want to return. So the reduce function, you could look at it. It's used to reduce the all sorts of lists and things like that. So children posts, maybe it's trying to do that for the children post itself as well. Okay, I need to look up that. So if somebody knows a better solution how to reduce it, so what I want to have here, just to show you, I will prepare that a little bit later because now I need to run, but basically what I want to get here is something like this, the list where I have, for example, the parent ID, which will be null, right, none, comma, some top page, and then there will be like, you know, the maybe we can create with these kind of styling here that this will be some sub page, right, sub page, and then some other sub page, right, sub page, and everything, and all of this is just in one list, right? So it's not like a tree structure, it's just in one list. So we can create a select box. I will also show you, given the template, how it looks like, that you can get back this ID and save it in the database. So hopefully that's clear what's need to be done. It's just need to look a little bit more regarding the reduce function. There's something not right now. I will make it in a template working, this part, and then you just need to create the ability to save these sub pages as for the parent, right? And also display in the home page this tree structure. So that would be for the homework. If something is not clear what we did so far, then definitely write in the WhatsApp group or Telegram. And also regarding the, you know, like any other questions. So we'll see how you do for the next week. So that's it for today. Sorry for a little bit of trouble here. I will fix it and send the template afterwards.